You're such an asshole.
I am Dave. 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 It's a great movie. The Penguins. Never mind. All right. As you can see, I have my boomer set up. I don't know how to switch live. So someone wanted to pay for a video response here about Dave Ramsey. Where can I find the original? He said he wanted to know my opinion about what Dave said in this video. Now, I haven't watched the video, but as you guys know, or maybe you don't, I eschew the drama. I'm not big into the drama or beefs on the internet. And I'm no joke, going all the way back in my 20s when I did finance seminars, investing in finance seminars. I'd recommend Dave Ramsey's book, Total Money Makeover. I don't remember if Baby Steps was available yet. And I do remember Robert Kiyosaki's book, because you guys are right. They're good. They put out good products. So I have nothing against Dave Ramsey. The only, I guess, professional disagreement I would have with him, and this isn't his fault. If anything, it's because he's blessed. He like Prager, him, Walsh, a couple other guys. These guys woefully underestimate the risks to modern young day American males. Him and Prager are older. They're from a bygone era. They're from when we had yet to have states on the other side of the Mississippi, and Daniel Boone went out to slay the bears. It's in the history books. Dave Ramsey was there. And he was like, oh, Mary, it's family. And some of that's probably no doubt influenced by his Christian faith, where the man should do. And for those of you who are secularists or simply like, hang on a second, Christian women get divorced too. How much money? And so if there's been a disagreement we've had with these traditionalists, it's not been their financial advice, their politics, certainly not their philosophy. If you listen to Dennis Prager, he's a deep philosopher on par with Stefan Mullen. There's nothing there. It's just like, I saw an episode of the Andy Griffith Show. It's like, yeah, it's a little dated. Or as I talked about in the past, these guys, think it's the Vietnam era. We're like, the F-4 Phantom's a great plane. Yeah, that should be able to take out any kind of fighter. We're like, no, we need stealth technology now. So I will go and watch the movie. We'll watch this, and I'll pause it because we don't want the 30-minute thing. So this is titled, I don't know if you guys can see it, My Wife Doesn't Think We Can Afford to Retire.
It's in Hartford, Connecticut. Hey, Jason, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thanks, Dave. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up, man?
Okay. I'm a long-time listener, and I'm a long-time saver. I was hoping you could answer a question regarding a retirement disagreement between my wife and I. I'm 54. She's 51. I'd like to...
Okay, right now, I'm already getting hair up on the back of my neck because back in the day, tell us about yourself in the classes I ran. Just give it a little, I'm here. And I've said it before. I'm 58. It's time to get serious about retirement. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid. And I can't even say boomers anymore. These guys are closer to my age now, so I'm kind of worried about where this is going to go.
Retire next year at 55. I feel like I have enough savings to retire comfortably, maybe possibly do a side gig, and she doesn't feel like we do. So just asking for some advice.
All right, so far I'm wrong. That's good. He's retiring early. Okay.
Well, retirement's not a feeling, so that's at least some consolation to you. We can look at some facts and data to go, all right, do you have the finances to retire? Is your nest egg big enough?
How much is your nest egg, dude?
Around 2.5 million.
Okay, that's plenty. I was thinking he's going to have not enough. I'm guessing all wrong on this. I thought he was going to have enough, and he was going to underestimate his life expectancy. He's got 2.5 million. Without a doubt, he's got it. Unless he had, I would argue you have to cut your spending, but he has enough.
So she needs more than a couple $100,000 a year to live on?
Boom. There he goes. He's right.
Apparently so.
What's your current expenses?
Right now we're probably about $8,000 a month.
Oh my God. Guys, if you're in your mid 50s, Dave is probably going to be right about this. If you're in your mid 50s and you're still spending $8,000 a month, dude, the kid should be out of the house. The mortgage should be close to being paid off. $8,000 a month? I don't know where they're living. I mean, I guess that'd be okay in San Francisco, but 8,000, Dave.
Okay, so you need $100,000 a year to live, and
Correct.
$2.5 million invested in good mutual funds. If it made 10%, would be $250,000, right?
Correct.
Now you probably don't have access to all of that at 54, do you?
No, she's going to be younger, so she will probably work until
No,
I'm 59 and a half.
You can't
Oh.
access all the $2.5 million now at 54 years old because some of it's in 401s, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Some of it is in
59
Roth
and a
as well.
half before you get to it, right?
Yeah.
Have you got
But
some
she
money
can-
to live on until you get to 59 and a half?
Well, she's actually employed. She's makes most of the money in the household. So
What does she make?
She makes around $160 a year.
Okay.
$160 a year. Wait, so her take home, they're living paycheck. If he's not working, her take home after tax doesn't cover it, or it's just barely.
And your expenses are $8,000. So if you weren't even there, she'd be okay.
Correct.
I think she's trying to tell you something.
No, I mean, actually, I just want to get out of the corporate.
Okay, so yeah, there's a couple things. Mathematically, the answer is you're just fine, and I just outlined why.
Yep.
As soon as you get access to $2.5 million, if it's invested well, if you pull off 8 or 10% of that a year, regardless of whether she's working,
You ain't even touching the capital.
you're going to make more than it takes to cover your expenses, right?
Correct.
It's a math thing, like George said. It's not a feeling. But I think there's a lot more going on here than that.
So far, this is not controversial. This is math. But see, now Dave's going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. And I'm going to bet love is not in this family. I'm going to bet it's materialism.
Yes.
Well, we're completely debt free. We have no credit card.
No,
debt,
I mean, she doesn't want you
things.
sitting at home on your butt at 54 years old.
No, it's not the. It's just going to be a career change for me. I'm very handy.
Okay,
and,
side hustle is different.
Yep.
You know,
I want to retire and do a side hustle.
it's not a side hustle. It's a business. Retire and open a business.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll call it a business.
Yeah, let's start a small business.
So far, this isn't controversial. I don't want to. I thought it was. I seriously beforehand, everyone sends them to me. The ones are. My wife or my fiance forgot to mention she had $70,000 in student loans for her puppetry degree, and Dave comes in. Wow, you gotta pay for it anyway. It's our money.
Idea that makes more than you used to make in corporate.
Yep.
And then none of this is an issue. So I just can't recommend. I'm 63, and I can't recommend you do nothing. It's not worked out for most of my friends. They die.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to do anything. Trust me. We have a younger son that I actually want to spend the summers with. So the business would give me the flexibility to schedule work based on his school schedule. So if he was home in the summers, I could spend more time with him. So this is kind of a work-life balance thing for me.
Yeah. You have the money to do whatever you want. I'm now moving from financial to life. Do something, okay? Babysitting your kid in the summers, going from with the net worth you have, is your only goal, and calling that life balance and making it sound cool it's going to wear pretty thin quick.
He's right. I don't like any of my family members that much.
Dude, you're going to want to go do something with your life, and you're too young to do nothing. You're too valuable in the marketplace. So go do something with your life. That's just guy to guy right there. There's nothing to do with the math. The math is you're just fine. And I kind of think in this argument with your wife, she's a little bit worried about that.
I don't think so, because I'm pretty involved in all kinds of activities and civics. And
that's not the same thing.
So.
I'm trying to figure out what the problem. Why'd you have me watch this? This is nothing. This is, do I golf here or do I go boating there? Which golf club do I use and at which golf course?
Well, I have a lot of activities to keep me busy. That's sure.
Not the same thing. I'm talking about being of marketplace value, not simply serving the JCs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you can do whatever you want to do. I'm not belittling you for that. I'm just trying to listen to what's going on here, because there's nothing in this math that says you can't quit cold today. All the math says you can quit.
Well, the issue for her is she just doesn't think we have enough. That's the thing. She's just worried that we're going to run out of money.
Have you shown her the expenses and the net income and what the retirement accounts will do?
Yeah, we've already met with a planner, and he says we're good to go as well. So
You showed a woman a spreadsheet and she didn't choose to believe it. I don't believe it, sir. You proved with empirical data and evidence, and she didn't grasp it.
Well, then she just doesn't believe the data at that point.
But
Or
lady
she has
that
other
makes
fears.
$160,000 a year is not stupid. So what is she really saying? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
no, she's come from a family where everybody works.
No,
till they're
she
65.
didn't come
Yeah,
from a
yeah.
family where math didn't work. Math works
Well, no.
in all families.
She doesn't believe the math. I'm telling you.
Well, then that's a different issue. But she's not too stupid to believe the math. She's not wanting to believe it for some reason, and that's your core issue. It's not
He's good. See, this is. I know you all have your disagreements with Dave on the marriage thing, but he's spot on. He just doesn't curse like I do.
I have enough to retire. It's how do I deal with my situation? So I have a friend I talked to the other day. He's like the 6th guy to ever go through Financial Peace University.
Wow.
He called me up, and I met with his grandson. That's how long ago this was, right? Met with his grandson the other day, who's a millionaire, because this guy went through Financial Peace University.
Imagine that. You get your financial shit together and you get out of debt, and then your family turns into millionaires. Who would have? Oh,
Pretty cool. So, but the first time him and his wife walked in, she was a real estate agent, and they had $4 million. They were in their 50s, and she thought she worked like 80 hours a week selling real estate. She could not relax. And I sat down with the math, and I showed her the exact same math that he had been showing her, that $400,000 a year 30 years ago.
Wow.
$400,000 a year 30 years ago. You've got enough. You don't have to be in freak out mode. She relaxed, calmed down, ended up selling more real estate because she wasn't in freak out mode all the time. But there was something, it was an emotional thing. Like
it could be emotional, but I'm sure you guys have seen the story or have actually experienced it, where you could tell someone, you could show them a diagram, look here, and then someone else says the exact same thing, but because it's not you, they'll listen. It could be a therapist, a pastor, some third party. For whatever reason, they don't believe you.
Like with Jason's wife, because Jason's wife, the lady I'm talking about, is not dumb. She's brilliant. And Jason's wife, not dumb. They don't generally pay dumb people $160,000 for much of anything.
Oh, well.
Generally, it's not for long anyway. It catches up with you being dumb. But the
Is it the security gland flaring
it could
up?
be. It could be
a scarcity mindset.
Yeah, it's
potentially.
like I knew a guy that was a billionaire, and I asked him why he worked all the time, and he said, I grew up dirt poor. And I'm like, well, I get that. And he goes, no, like the floor in our house was dirt. That's dirt poor in Appalachia. And he goes, I can't get that out of my system, so I work all the time. I'm like, that's not a math problem. That's not a financial problem. That's a psychological problem. You have a wound from your past, a trauma that you've not overcome.
Mm.
And that's a Dr. John Deloney answer. It's not a George Camel, Dave Ramsey answer. Right?
Okay. Well,
right.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that has to be dealt with if you're going to ever think it's enough. Because at
You'll
some
never
point,
get
you get 20 million.
This guy had $1 billion.
It could all go away at any time. So I got to keep stacking, stacking.
Yeah. And
well, they're 100% right. Yeah. No, I don't really watch the Dave Ramsey show. I do like how he can, like, with a what's it called? Who's the detective? British detective. Benedict Cumberbatch played him. Why can't I remember? Sherlock Holmes. I like how he goes right. He can identify it. He picked it up. Yeah, I get. I mean, what I'm kind of confused. What was here to question? This is 100% correct. There's nothing even questionable here.
Listen, you can't get enough. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Financial peace.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's my video. I agree with 100% what he said. There's nothing really controversial or wrong there. Let's go. And we super chat. We got a super chat. Paracelsius Underact, 10 generous dollars. Dave Ramsey is an out-of-touch boomer in one way. Everyone's got a blind spot. Everyone that gives advice from when he had sound money Cash only is for people that want to remain poor, like people that only save and never invest. Sound money, cash only is for, oh, that's what the envelopes. Want to save and never, well, okay, but here, those are two different, Parasol says that's two different clients. There are people who spend more than they make and they need trouble just getting to the point of having a budget. They're not at the point that they can invest. They got to stop. They have a spending problem. That's where Dave Ramsey and people getting out of debt. That's where, well, that was his original, that was what brought him to fame. After you get to that point, then you can invest. But you're kind of like, okay, you crawled, now go ride a bike. No, they got to walk in between that. So that's where it's about the only philosophical thing is, if you have so much, if I had $1 billion, I'd be buying multiple properties overseas. Everything would be divided into fifths. I'd have a 200 million in each country that I think I would like, and then I would finally relax, deploying the assets. All right, that's it. There you guys go. See you guys later. I'll be on with Vlad Elkins here pretty soon. Toodles.